Hey, my name's Rusty Goffe, and I played Monsieur LeGrand Steeplejack in Allo'Allo. Yay! How did I get cast? It was interesting because I'd already done a couple of shows for David Croft on the Are You Being Served series, and I think they wanted a little guy, and he just cast me. Just I said, I know the right guy. I want Rusty Goffe, and there we go. And I was booked, and it was a lovely, lovely couple of days of working with that brilliant team, and of course David and Jeremy, the writer. Well, Widow Artois, the lovely late Carmen Silvera. What a beautiful lady she was. She was fun. Renee, her husband, the late Gordon Kay, has been shot, so they think, and he was imposing. He was doing it. He was supposed to be his brother, long lost brother. So I arrived because I heard that Rennie had been shot, and I wanted to marry Widow Artois. So I arrived in the bar, and there she was, looking all prim and proper. I was there with a bunch of flowers, and Gordon Kay, Rennie, was on his knees behind the counter for some reason, hiding from the Gestapo, I would imagine. So that's when I came up to Carmen, and I went, she looked at me in that lovely eyes. I nearly corpsed, but she was absolutely a dream. I said, Widow Artois, I've sold you in the square. My compliments, gave her the flowers. My card, I gave her my card. She looked at it and went, oh, Pierre LeGrand, Steeplejack, which is a funny, funny line. This little guy playing the steeplejack. You have visions of absolute sheer comedy. I knew what David and Jeremy could write. Brilliant writers, brilliant. And there we go. And then it all stepped from there. It was lovely. It was lovely because they're all pros. You know, this day and age, not many of what you call pros. They were all pros and steeped in comedy, in visual comedy as well. Look at the looks you got. Jack Haig with those sneeze and everything else. Absolutely fabulous. Really good. And of course, the late Gordon Kay, where he looks, he was a brilliant, brilliant actor. Brilliant. And Carmen was wonderful. Yeah, and all these actors were absolutely a dream. Lovely to work with. I was in my element. We filmed that on set in the actual cafe, the little cafe René Artois, the cafe. It was we filmed that on the set. It was lovely with the tables and everything else. The steps. I came down the steps and saw my eyes lit up because I thought, here we are, Widow Artois. I'm going to marry her eventually. That's what I was thinking. But it never happened like that due to comedy. You know, she said something like, I've had many, many suitors. But I said, nothing else like me. That means you do not fancy people my size. And Gordon stood up. She does not fancy people your size. With that, I screamed, done the run out through the door, and my famous line, which Jeremy gave me, turned around and said, if you don't ask, you don't get. And that was it. That's my bit in Allo'Allo. I only stayed for, well, the recording that happened before and my scene. And then I was taken away to the dressing room. Off came the props, and here we go. Thank you very much indeed. That worked well. You know, Jeremy and David did come down once again to thank me. You know, because they were gentlemen. They're really, really nice men. It was lovely to work with those guys. And of course, the cast. You know, Lovely. Well, the costume, I had a trilby hat on and a suit, and it was very. I think one of the suits I wore, which was hanging in the BBC wardrobe, after various things I had done, and so they found a suit which actually fitted me, and that was it. And the makeup, I was short hairs. I think they gave me a short back and sides to get me into the look of the 1930s in France. And there we go. That was it. And just normal powder and a bit of rouge on as makeup. Well, I tripped up steps a couple of times, and because they wanted me to go out very, very fast, because I was shocked. So I fell up the stairs and a couple of times when I came back, and cut, do it again. But apart from that, no, that was it. I got my lines out perfectly on the first take. If you don't ask, you don't get. You know, it was really, and I loved it. And to a round of applause as I shut the door. Unfortunately, it was the only one I was asked for. I don't know why. I'd love to have done more because, as I said, they're a brilliant cast and crew, and it's a pleasure to work in those days. It's really, really a pleasure. You enjoyed going to work on a David Croft show because he was. It really, you know, I had an episode, The Chuckle Brothers, and it lasted a morning. We got booked for 2 days. It didn't need 2 days because they were all pros. They knew what they were doing. Let's get in and do the show. It was lovely. Loved them. Loved working with them. I miss them. I miss the crew, you know, that's no longer with us. Gosh sake, you know. What do I do now? Well, I've retired. And thank God. And I'm now socialized medical detection dogs, puppies. We've had 5, but my wife and I have 5 dogs so far. We started off with a Labradoodle, which was the same height as me, twin with a Shetland pony, we thought he was, but he was a lovely dog. And then white Labrador, another white Labrador, a black Labrador, and now we have a beautiful chocolate color puppy called Linda. She is lovely. She's 5 months old, and we socialize her up to about 6, 7, 8 months, and where they move on, and they could go to a client who's got a disability like diabetes, Parkinson's, POTS, even, which is the problem where 3 minutes, seconds later, they will just collapse. The dog will smell this on their breath, and to either take them to a place of refuge and go and get their bag of medicine. So I love doing that. I've been out this morning with Lindy. We were training another trainer. There are new trainers coming in, and they wanted 4 dogs to be there. So we went there training. So it's quite exciting. Training a trainer. I think they passed. Lindy is a lovely dog. She's lovely. But as we've done 5, and I love it. You know, you don't get paid for it. It's a charity, but it's wonderful. Well, Andrew, thank you very much. Sorry, I only done one episode for you, but what an episode it was. Pierre LeGrand, Steeplejack.